Sup. My name is Ray for the TheYugiohCouncil. This is a little bit different than I really am used to saying, but this is a discussion video that we do every Monday. This is coffee time, and I just wanted to talk about this because it's been something on my mind for a while, and I'm just gonna blatantly say it. I feel the Super Editions are the worst Yu-Gi-Oh product to date, worse than Cyber Dark Impact, and that takes me back, and it's hard to swallow those words and say that, because Cyber Dark Impact has the record for being the lower sells. It has the record for being the lowest, the lowest impact. Like cards that had an impact into the game during that time, and that's what makes sales so low of sets. The Super Edition, I feel, is one of the worst products to date, because not because of reprints of super rare cards, because there are better options, and the fan base, the player base, we will say, hey Konami, why don't you reprint stuff like Arcanite Magician or whatnot? Why don't you reprint stuff like Ancient Sacred Wyvern? Why don't you reprint stuff that needs a reprint, like Miracle Dig would have been a great one for the upcoming Secrets of Eternity Super Edition. Instead, Konami just says, we're going to take what we have, repackage it, lower the value of our super rare cards, and give you that less incentive to pull holos. Let's be honest. If you were to pull a super rare, you would not be nearly as happy as you would knowing that it's in a super edition and just saying it's not the one you want and you want to go and trade it off. You're going to be looking at like $1 or $2 because of this set. Super rares don't really retain their value any longer because of things like the super edition. I thought it was pretty interesting at first. Now I just don't like it. It was a great idea at first to step away from the deluxe edition that was a little bit pricier for people who were more budgeted based. That was a smart move. The incorrect move is, instead of going back to the super edition, one of 2 cards, I would have even taken one of 4. They went to one of 14 super rare cards. Now, you can disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. State your reasons, or if you agree with me, state them in the comments. The one thing I feel about the Super Edition here is it can be much better in design. I'm okay with still having 14 super rare cards, but those super rare cards should be things that need to get reprinted and things that should get a errata update, or things that are kind of needed or people may have some kind of interest in playing. Per example, Inforoids have a year of support coming. A great idea would have been to include a holo reprint of Monster Gate inside the Secrets of Eternity Super Edition, or to put in Miracle Dig, which is also great tech, or I think we're coming up around a year of it, to reprint Curry Bandit inside of a Super Edition, because that's used in it. Then you have the excuse to reprint Mathematician, Fire Hand, Ice Hand, Soul Charge. Now, Soul Charge is not going to be something you really want to pack, but you know what? Why not? Dragons of Legend has sold out from its retailer stock, where basically the retailers will order it straight from Konami. That's done. So Konami's made its money. It's like if GameStop buys a case of the latest Call of Duty and they sell all the copies, or they don't sell the copies, Activision already made the money. Transaction's done. Everything else is profit. That's what we're looking at here. So things of that sort would have been great timing to have that reprinted, but Konami doesn't jump on these things. Instead, they give us a great addition. Here's a great idea. We're going to put the Super Edition, and we're going to take the 14 super rares in set and give you a little less incentive to want to pull those super rares and just stick them in here. That drops the value dramatically. I personally don't sell anything on the eBay store right now. That's all Mikey, Johnny, and everyone else. There will come a time where I do. Right now, I'm not really focusing on that. I'm focusing on things that I need to focus on for the council, just so we understand each other where Ree's coming from with this. I'm not going to sit here and rant and say we deserve a better product, we need a better product. If we want a better product, we don't touch this with a 40-inch pole. Konami will get the message. The deluxe edition was pretty bad in design. It was okay at first, but it's pretty bad. The Super Edition had everything going for it. I mean, the Special Edition had everything going for it. Because if you would reprint harder, older cards, things that have to do something with the set, mix it up. Put some of those commons in hollow form. I think everyone could agree when Scrap Factory was new, we would love a hollow print, and some of us would still love a hollow reprint of that. Things that are coming up, like when Fist of the Dragons is new. Okay, let's put in some, some hollows that have to do with normal monsters. Let's put Dragon's Mirror in there hollow. Let's put Monster Gate. It would give you an incentive to buy this. Not just it doesn't have to just be reprints of like cards that are kind of annoying to get. And there's plenty of options for Konami just to say, you know what, we'd make a great thing. 1 of 14 of these things will carry a Vanny's Emptiness. And then one of the other ones will carry something with just as much weight that the game actually uses a lot of right now. Let's say, per example, even though they wouldn't reprint it yet, I would probably say, just for the hell of it, I'm trying to think let's say Winda. Just for argument's sake, we're going to say Winda. Obviously, I don't want it reprinted yet. We're going to say Winda, and we're going to say the Vanny's Emptiness. If you knew you had a 1 of 14 chance of pulling this, there's like 12 in the case, there's an incentive to buy the product. And that's something Konami needs to realize. There's an incentive to buy product. Right now, there's really not an incentive to buy the Super Edition unless you want to just do an opening on YouTube, or you just feel like getting 3 packs and just like, fuck it, I'll take a super rare out of the set, whatever. I bought one just for shits and giggles kind of thing. We never really touched upon it. I was kind of hoping for a Herald of Arclight, and I managed to pull one out of the pack. So, logic. I mean, it's pretty much just as bad as Cyber Dark Impact. I think it's fair enough to say that. And I'm not really a person who likes to bag on a product and say, this sucks. But it really does, and it's awful. It just reeks of awfulness. 1 of 14 super rare cards that are in the set. You just took the set, said, screw it, we're going to force feed you super rares, and this is just going to be a shelf warmer. And it's kind of one of those things that Konami's not the only one who's guilty of this. I will say that much. They're not the only one guilty of this shit. There is this great term when it comes into anything collectible called the shelf warmer syndrome. If you know what Transformers are, then you know Bumblebee. They make 1,000 Bumblebees for the kids, and the adults are like, fuck, I'm so sick of seeing Bumblebee. I'm not going to buy Bumblebee. Becomes a shelf warmer. He's always on the shelf. That's what this is right here, folks. The new challengers is that overstock. I'm going to try to sell it to a hobby store, and then the hobby store is going to be overstocked, and they're not going to want any more, and then chances are they're not going to want more product. That just takes away from the incentive for that hobby store or for the player to buy from the hobby store, and that sucks. Konami could easily make this a little bit better. Still keep the name Super Edition, could still keep the idea of 1 of 14 super rare cards. You just need to change up what those super rare cards are. The core set super rares should not be reprinted in this. It should just be something completely different. Whether it be the older cards that need an errata, or older cards that have something to do with a deck that's in there that you could start building, or just for the sake of reprints. And a prime example again, Needlebug Nest, Curry Bandit, Monster Gate, Miracle Dig, Burial from Different Dimension. These would all make prime choices for the Secrets of Eternity Super Edition if they would do it in that model. Unfortunately, we will not get that. We will get the 14 super rares from the said set, and they will be packaged in. So those Wendigos, those El Shadow Wendigos, I believe that's the proper name, you're probably going to be seeing like 100 of them. It sucks. But that's all I really have to say. I wish Konami would change upon this and update, the Super Edition into something a little bit better, a little more solid as a product. Just have more meat on the bones, a little more incentive. You could bump it to $12.99 if that was the case. No one's really going to care if you bump it to $12.99. If there was better stuff in it to pull, we'd be a little more happier. But otherwise, this is going to retain as a shelf warmer. Am I right or am I wrong? What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments. Let me know what else you would like me to talk about on Coffee Time, and I will do so. But once in a while, I do have to throw these. I just feel like talking about this topic. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for the continued support. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Good night. Peace.